So the idea of the Angel deck is that we have a lot of Angels, obviously. So we have, we start our curve with Resplendent Angel, which we have a nice combo with our Renewed Faith, which can gain us 6 life, so it can make an Angel token right away. Then we have Shalai as another Angel, protecting the other Angels, and the activated ability also works nicely since we do have quite a few mana creatures, so making those bigger is also a good late game plan. We've got some Angel of Sanctions to deal with problematic permanents, and of course Lyra Dawnbringer, pumping all our Angels, giving them +1/+1 and lifelink, which is also a nice combo with Resplendent Angel, not only because Lyra, of course, hits for 5 life gain, so you get to make a token, but also just if you have a 4/4 token from the Resplendent Angel and you play Lyra, then with the 4/4 Angel, which is now a 5/5 lifelinker, you get to attack right away and trigger the Angel in the same turn. So it's kind of as if your Lyra Dawnbringer had haste in a way, and gets to generate an extra token right away, which is nice. And then the rest of the deck is some more protection for the Angels in Blossoming Defense, mana creatures in Druid of the Cowl, Servant, and Llanowar Elves, and seal away as some more cheap removal. Cast out as well, Binding, and 2 Settles, since we don't really want to be playing Fumigate in this deck. And a 1 of Ajani, which can find our Angels and our enchantments. And pretty straightforward mana base. 3 Aether Hubs to help us support 11 untapped green sources for Llanowar Elves on turn 1. And it also helps us play our white spells, and it goes nicely with our Servant of the Conduit. So that's what we'll be trying out here. This hand's on the slow side, but we've got a Llanowar Elf, so I'll keep. Alright, let's play this tapped, say go. So we are looking at a turn 5 or a turn 4 Lyra if they don't kill the elf, but the elf is likely to die here anyway. Elf is actually nice here, lets us play Lyra next turn. I'm gonna hide the fact that we have double white. Just leave our Llanowar Elves alone, please. Nope. Alright, I mean, the fact that I have Soulscar Mage in play actually makes Lyra less reliable, since any burn spell can shrink her down, so I don't really mind that our opponents using those on the elves here. And then hopefully Lyra is good enough to stabilize us. And if the first one isn't, then maybe the second one is. That's fine. And a cast out, that's perfect, but could also Ajani minus. So this is actually an interesting spot. I think we're attacking with Lyra, just want to close out the game. And I think we hang on to cast out instead of Ajani, just to prevent our opponent from playing a second Hazret. And that might also change their play. And I guess they also have to respect Settle the Wreckage now. Alright, Phoenix is kind of an issue, but we can answer that one with Ajani, I guess. So it's still fine. So Hazret's not attacking this turn, so I guess we can just cast out the Phoenix instead. I guess it does commit us to using Ajani on Hazret in a way, but not really. So let's get rid of the bird. Alright, Shalai is a good one, so don't mind attacking with Lyra, playing Shalai, which protects Dawnbringer and puts also another big life-linking creature in play, so definitely outracing Hazret at this point. Alright, we got to execute our Angel game plan against Mono Red. That's nice. And Shalai activation next turn will win us the game. Unless they have a burn spell on Shalai to shrink her down. Alright, so now our opponent's just dead on board. Alright, sweet. And the game at 29 life. This hand's acceptable. We're on the play, so even if we have a somewhat slow hand, we might not get punished for it. So turn on Scatter Groves, we might cycle Cast Out early on, but we'll see. Another mono red deck, so this settle's going to be pretty key. Could have cycled main phase to try and hit a Llanowar Elves exactly, or a tap land, I guess. Alright, scrap heap, so red-black. I think we cycle Cast Out, just to try and find some early action. Alright, that's a good one. So turn 3 Angel, turn 4 Settle the Wreckage, turn 5 Angel of Sanctions. That's a decent curve. The only downside of playing Angel here is that we incentivize our opponent in killing the Angel instead of playing another creature, while we would like them to play more creatures. Disintegration's unfortunate. Already down to 11. Alright, let's hope they play a haste creature and attack with everyone. Already saw Cast Out, so they shouldn't be too suspicious here. And in response to the trigger, we'll settle. Alright, so there's nothing for us to Angel of Sanctions, sadly. So I think I'll cycle this main phase. Alright, that's a decent draw. So we can cycle this to gain 2, or we can gain 6 if we're in an emergency. Alright, that's fine. I think we just cycle it. Or we could hold on to it. I think we cycle. And then hope they don't have another disintegration, I guess. Alright. Double Angel. If that works. And I think we play untap lands, and then next turn we can cycle plus play another Angel. They could also abrade their own Phoenix here, so it comes back. So that might be what they're considering. Or they're gonna kill the Angel in response. Alright, they let it happen. Let's play our Forest. Could have also had Blossoming Defense if we drew it, which would have been a nice combo with Angel. Alright, opponents, let's go. So let's cycle this main phase. Attack for 3. think we just play our mana creatures now. Keep Angel for another problematic creature. Alright, push, that's fine. Alright, opponent seems to be flooding out a bit. Of course we did settle them. Alright, they do have disintegration. So they must have drawn the disintegration now, otherwise they would have used it earlier. And how much mana do we have? 8 total, so we can Angel of Sanctions plus Resplendent Angel instead of Embalming. I guess that's reasonable. Then next turn we can activate this. So make sure to keep up enough white mana. Yeah, this works. And then one activation from the Resplendent Angel should put us far enough ahead. Sweet. Alright. So we're 2-0. Not bad. Alright. This hand seems okay. We're missing the Angel part, but we've got everything else. Don't love double seal away against the blue deck. Or Settle the Wreckage, really. So we'd go white land or black land here. Blue-white. If this is blue-white control, then our hand is pretty bad. Our deck in general is probably pretty weak to blue-white. At least we have a binding for a potential Teferi, which is good. So we could Blossoming Defense here, or we can keep it for later. I think we just need the pressure from Servant, so that I'm okay using it now. Let's get him for 2. Don't think we want to Ixalan's Binding the seal away. Have to keep that for Teferi. Well, we got rid of 2 sealaways, which is fine, I guess, since we've got some better targets in our deck that would have gotten hit by them. So we're hoping they play Teferi, we get to binding it and they don't have negate. Alright, I guess we're playing Lyra. Don't have high hopes, but we've got to try. Opponent may be deciding whether to counter it or kill it with the cast out. In our end of turn, we're going to use cast out. Alright. Now they could go land Teferi disallow, but nope. Think we cycle this main phase. Hope to draw into a Resplendent Angel or something. Alright, that can get rid of the cast out at least. I guess we could have also used the binding on the cast out as a potential play. Illumination. I kind of wanted to keep the binding as insurance against the Teferi, pretty much. I think I like Angel over binding here, just because if they do have a counterspell, we can do it again next turn. Syncopate would be worst case scenario. Alright, just an Acid Scatter, that's acceptable. So next turn we can Embalm, do it again. Or do they just disallow this? Alright, they disallow it. I mean, we did get a 2-for-1 out of this, but our opponents got quite a few 2-for-1s in their deck too. And we're not really pressuring them in any way. Thaumatic Compass. Yep. So we could Ixalan's Binding the Compass. I think we cycle this first. Just an elf. So yeah, the issue with Compass is that it's gonna blank the first creature we draw. And we have some big creatures like Lyra, which would like to attack for damage. So we could Binding the Compass, which makes more sense than using Binding on Cast out here. So sure, we do give up on our answer to the fairy, sadly. But they haven't drawn any yet, so... There's the negate. So they would have gotten the fairy, untap 2 lands, negate or binding anyway. On the bright side, they don't get to activate the Compass end of turn. They might still have something like a Fumigate in hand too, that we need to consider. What's our best draw? Not sure. Maybe another Angel of Sanctions. If our opponent plays the fairy, then I might just concede. But until then... Karn's not quite the fairy, I guess. Alright, that's enough for me. Yeah, it's unfortunate that we drew 3 of our 4 cards that don't do anything in the matchup. Alright, so we're 2-1. Yeah, the sand seems great. Turn 2 Servant, turn 3 Binding or Settle, turn 5 Ajani. Is this a turn 1 Llanowar Elves? Yep. Alright, could be scary. If they have a turn 2 Steel Leaf Champion, we could be in trouble. Alright, it's a Center Courser. It's definitely more reasonable than a Steel Leaf Champion. Opponent might just be starting out. They might not have a very large collection yet, so... Happily take 3 here. Mono Green's gonna have a hard time answering Lyra. And we can keep up Settle next turn, which is also gonna be good. Although Servant's tempting. Could just play Servant next turn Lyra. Or we can keep up Settle. But I don't really want to ramp the opponent into better stuff. So I think I'm fine playing Servant here. And then I'll just take all the damage. Although we could consider trading for the Sentinel. Vigilant Bailiff, alright. It's a powerful card. I think I'm fine blocking the Sentinel, since we can still play Lyra next turn. And don't want to take 1,000,000 damage. I should have maybe just double blocked the Servants if we were gonna give away a Servant anyway. Leave them with a 2-2 instead of a 3-3. That was bad. Of course, our opponent tapped out main phase, so normally it would be a little riskier to double block on the 3-3, but since our opponent tapped out main phase, then the coast was clear. Alright, there's a Galta. That's a scary card. And a Plummet, wow, main deck Plummet, look at that. Alright, all of a sudden we're staring down essentially lethal. Luckily we have the Settle the Wreckage to save our butts. So hopefully they run into it. We'll see how familiar our opponent is with the format. The answer is Not very. Alright, so now we get to either play Angel or Ajani. Could Ajani minus, or we could play an Angel. They're both pretty tempting. I guess we Ajani minus.
I will teach you humility, if I must. Now do you see the benefits of peace?
Alright. Guess we can plus first.
Come, we will seek a chord together.
Alright, so just find the servant. But now we can go servant plus angel. Now what? Start by plussing.
We'll seek a chord together.
We're 1 mana short of playing Angel and activating Angel, so I'll play around Plummet. And then just play double Resplendent Angel, and then next turn we can make a ton of Angel tokens. We could also Ajani minus our own creatures to gain life to potentially meet the requirement. Alright, Druid is fine. Alright, so it's time to pump our Angel. I guess I should have plus Ajani first there, but oh well.
Come, we will seek a chord together.
Ooh, another Angel? Get to live the quadruple Resplendent Angel dream. I hope our opponent doesn't plummet me now. This is gonna be glorious if we get to attack. We'll get to make 4 tokens end of turn. No plummets, please. Alright, nice. I think I'll stack it like this. No, let's do it like this. I think we have Sandworm Convergence covered with the Angel of Sanctions. Alright, so we're 3-1. This hand's a bit on the slow side, but we get to cycle this, and we have a servant, so I'll keep. Alright, turn 2 Ballista, some sort of mono black deck. Alright, blue-black, so blue-black mid-range. Is this Champion of Wits? Or a removal spell? Gate to the Afterlife. Alright, that's gonna get bindinged as soon as possible. Can sack your Ballista, but I don't think they will. They can of course discard all the gates they draw now, but that's fine. Alright, Trophy Mage and Minister go to the graveyard. And here I don't mind Angel of Sanctions exiling Championowitz. I don't think the blue-black gift deck is going to run a ton of removal spells for the Angel anyway, so the fact that the champion comes back and they get the trigger again doesn't seem too relevant. Alright, never mind. Hostage Taker will work. But now we get to Angel the Hostage Taker. I did forget about Hostage Taker. It's been a while since this card has seen play. It was kind of all the rage when Ixalan came out and then disappeared. So Angel your Hostage Taker, and then Angel your Champion, attack for 2. Hope they don't have another Hostage Taker, because then we're in trouble. Yep, opponent is playing with a Stitcher Supplier from M19. Could also go after the Walking Ballista, I guess, but I don't really want Championowitz to go to the graveyard. Could still make the argument for exiling Ballista, since we've got our Angels to attack in the air. So you don't really need to attack on the ground to win. And then if they attack us, we have Seal Away. So maybe getting rid of the Ballista was better there. It's hard to say. Alright, that's fine. As long as it's not another Hostage Taker, I'm happy. And then our best draw would be Shalai. This is pretty decent as well. I guess maybe it's still fine to attack, who knows. Sure. Vraska's Contempt could get us, but I don't know if they even play that card, since they want a high density of creatures, so their only removal spell might just be Ballista and Hostage Taker. This is 7 mana Godfarer's Gift, should still be beatable, since they don't have any flyers or removal spells, and they scoop it up. Awesome. So nice curve out with a lot of disruption, binding double Angel of Sanctions, Lyra, to top it off. So the deck seems like it's working pretty well. Happy with our mana acceleration package. So we're 4-1, at least made our gold back. Alright, let's have a look at a pretty good hand. Elf into turn 4 Lyra. Blossoming Defense is back up. Don't hate it. So we could cycle the Scatter Groves, but if they kill the elf, then we're gonna need it, so don't mind attacking for 1, playing tap Scatter Groves. And our deck is pretty mana hungry in general. Got the Embalm on Angel of Sanctions, the activated ability on Resplendent Angel. It's actually tricky, so we could Blossoming Defense to save the elf, or we could keep Blossoming Defense for Lyra, but then we have to wait until turn 6 essentially. So I think we save the elf, just try and get an early Lyra down, and hope that's good enough. Alright. If I knew we were going to draw elf, then I would have let the elf die, I guess. Alright, it's a PNLR. PNLR means they could have black mana for Unlicensed Disintegration, which is the bad news. And now I'm regretting playing the Scatter Groves. Alright, let's see if this Lyra is good enough. Opponent says oops. Hopefully it's a good oops. Yeah, if they had Chain Whirler, then they probably would not have abraded our elf on turn 2 is my guess. Chandra, that's acceptable.
I knew you needed my help.
So they might have a burn spell plus Chandra minus to get rid of Lyra. So finding an answer for the Thopter token would be great, or just for the Chandra altogether. Alright, so let's attack Chandra. Opponent's gonna jump with the Thopter token, and then we'll binding the Chandra anyway. Which is better than using binding on the Thopter token, since they might have more Chandras in hand. Alright, so far so good. They might have a double removal spell for Lyra though, and then we have to top deck. The consideration here is opponent might have a second Pia, and they want to get rid of the one they have anyway. They might draw a Chain Whirler later, in which case blocking makes sense. We don't really need the mana from the elves, and they're probably not going to be attacking. So I guess I'm fine trading. Opponent hasn't played any black mana sources, so Doomfall is not really a consideration. I'll trade. And I'm happy if they kill one of the elves to let Pia survive. Wow. That's very surprising. So they're kind of giving up on the idea of killing Lyra with 2 burn spells. That's perfect. Okay. Yep. Skyship Stalker can get pretty big. So they can give it +1/+0 and first strike, so it could trade for Lyra here. But that's fine since we have a second one. Tapped our mana wrong, but I don't think we need the energy anyway, so... let's hope they don't have another Skyship Stalker. Alright, so far so good. Get in for 5. And hope Lyra gets there. Alright, sweet. They might have also had a few Chandras stuck in hand, for all we know. So we're 5-1 with our Angel deck. And this hand seems fine. So we could play the Elf if we want to play Aether Hub on turn 1, but I don't think we have to. Alright. So we've got a turn 3 Shalai, turn 4 Angel of Sanctions. That's definitely powerful. Against a mono-white deck, looks like, with Zelther and Void. So we're hoping they present something we can Angel of Sanctions next turn. Do have to be mindful of Seal Away. What is this? Cats, alright. So mono white cats probably with Zephyr Void. And I think it's fine to Angel of Sanctions the Radiant Destiny, since we do want to develop our board, and it's an okay target, I guess. Next turn, if we draw an untapped land, we can activate Shalai. Otherwise, we can cycle this Renewed Faith. And they did have the Seal Away for Shalai. That's kind of the pause they had on turn 2, which made me think they might have had a Seal Away. They could have sealed away the Llanowar Elves in response to Shalai entering the battlefield, but they didn't, which also makes sense. They could have another Seal Away for Angel of Sanctions, which would be pretty annoying here. They're definitely being very defensive. I guess we could have also considered not playing the Angel, keeping it for their Seal Away, which is also an option. Guess we'll cycle main phase, see what we draw. I think it's just too bad for us if they have a second Seal Away, so I'm not going to attack with Angel of Sanctions. I guess I should cycle this right now in case we draw a 2-mana creature we want to play instead of attacking for 1. And I guess we could have also drawn into Blossoming Defense. Alright, so no attacks. I'll play Servant. And then wait until we can draw an answer to get our Shalai back, or Blossoming Defense to protect the Angel, or if they tap out. Alright, so we've got Seal Away to answer this, but they're still going to get some value out of it. So we could keep the Angel on defense, I suppose. Just wait out the storm of cats. This might be a little too conservative, but I just feel like we need to get more value out of our Angel of Sanctions and don't just want to trade it for a Seal Away. On Sarah's Wings. Wow. The Vigilance here is super relevant. Fair enough. At least we can just eat 1/1 tokens they get. Alright, we've got a few turns to find an answer. That's not it. So we've got Settle the Wreckage, Cast Out, Ixalan's Binding, Ajani as answers, and Lyra Dawnbringer would be okay as well since it trades. So we've got quite a few outs, but not a lot of time to draw them. Another Angel of Sanctions would do it. Vanquisher's Banner, yep. So now Lyra's no longer good enough. Could also consider jumping with the Angel of Sanctions, I guess. Maybe I should have considered that last turn. Yeah, actually that might be better. Although now those are 2/2 tokens. So if we jump with the Angel of Sanctions, they get back their Radiant Destiny, so they hit us for quite a bit here. But then we can get back Angel of Sanctions, answer their War Leader, and then the enchantment will be gone even if they answer the Angel later. But then we'll be facing 3/3 Angels, or 3/3 Cats. I think that's still a better long-term plan than hoping to top deck something. So we'll get rid of the cats. And I don't want to block this one, I don't think. And then embalm the Angel. And I think we have to answer the War Leader over any of the Anthem effects. And alright, now Lyra is also a good draw. Our opponent's got a very strange take on the mono-white cat deck, that's for sure. But yeah, the cat deck in general I think is definitely a reasonable deck. And Opponent had a pretty good draw here too. Yep, it looks like we're gonna need a Settle the Wreckage to bail us out. That's not it. I don't think we attack. Second banner, alright. So yeah, Settle the Wreckage would have been nice. Don't have it. So can go up to 16, and this is 16. So we're dead. Yep. Alright, so we're 5 and 2. Need to win the last two. This hand's acceptable. I've got a turn 2 elf, cycle Renewed Faith, Shalai into Lyra. And we're up against a red deck, so we're gonna either need to hit our land drops or we need elves to survive. Both of those are acceptable outcomes. And we might just cycle the Renewed Faith, since I don't have high hopes for the Llanowar Elf. Right, so we're down to 16. Cycle Renewed Faith it is. Come on, land. We're playing 25 for a reason. It's because our curve is pretty high. Aether Hub is a nice one. So now we can go Elf plus keep a Blossoming Defense or cycle Renewed Faith. I'm not sure if we're supposed to Blossoming Defense the Elf or if we just let it die. Alright, so Magma Spray indicates they probably don't have Chain Whirler lined up. If we Blossoming Defense, they could have another removal spell anyway. So I feel like we want to cycle Renewed Faith here. And Karizev, alright. We could also keep up Settle instead of playing Shalai next turn if we do hit a land into draw steps. It's gotta be an untapped one though. So I guess Scatter Groves doesn't count. Alright, perfect. Alright, so I don't hate jamming Shalai, since it's going to be difficult for the opponent to kill this with one card unless they have a Chandra exactly. And we have a second copy, so it's okay if they trade for it. I think we have to block the courier. Might be that they don't even sack it since, yeah, they've been missing land drops. So they might Lightning Strike Shalai here, or a Braid, which is fine. Yep. But that does mean that their leftovers are pretty good. So do we play second Shalai or do we keep up Settle? I think I like second Shalai just because we have Lyra next turn. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so I think we're doing it. So next turn we have Lyra and then Blossoming Defense Can just block the monkey here. I guess they could get us with like a mountain into shock, but I doubt that's the case. Then they wouldn't have played Chain Whirler pre-combat. Alright, sweet. Oh yeah, turning the corner against red with this deck is amazing. Opponent doesn't have a ton of relevant cards left. And yep, they scoop it up. Sweet. So we had some close decisions there, when to use a Blossoming Defense, when to cycle. Not sure we made all the correct decisions, but in the end it worked out. Alright, so last one for 7 wins. So far we've beaten all the red decks. Lost to blue-white control and to mono-white cats. And how about this hand? Yeah, I'll keep. If we draw 2 more lands, then this hand's amazing. And even if we miss, then still get to play some 3/3 flyers, which are acceptable. Uh-oh. Blue-white control and we draw Seal Away right away. Ugh. Alright, Esper. Freebooter. Yeah, we'll give him the Seal Away. Don't actually mind seeing Kitesail Freebooter, since that means they're more mid-rangey or less focused on wrathing the board. So next turn we can go tap land, second Angel. Alright, so an Esper creature-based deck. Vizier of Deferment. Alright, fair enough. And the untapped land, nice. So we get to live the dream here. Almost looks like the Modern Humans deck. So it wouldn't surprise me if they had unclaimed territory in there, naming human. So this is a weird card, I want to make sure to understand. So 3 mana, 2/2 flash. They can exile target creature if it attacked or blocked. So they get to kind of flicker something. Alright. And yep, there's the unclaimed territory, naming human. Bane with Punisher, alright. So that gets to kill one of our angels for good. So your opponent should definitely sacrifice a Punisher here before we attack. Otherwise we get to make an extra angel token. But we're still in pretty good shape. And Angel of Sanctions can also clean up potential problems. Huh, interesting chump. They let it happen. So we're 1 point short of getting the token there. But next turn we might be able to, although they can use the Vizier to kind of flicker Lyra to prevent us from gaining the life. So we'll see. Alright, and there's Vanquisher's Banner naming human, so that's the payoff card for being human. I don't mind attacking and then playing Angel of Sanctions on the banner. Yeah, I think we just go for the throat here. Make him show us the sweeper. The Vizier does line up pretty well against tokens, so I guess they can flicker our Angel token and it will be gone for good. So I guess there's that. And our opponent scoops it up, awesome, so we got the 7 wins. Got a nice little curve out in the last game here, showing the power of Resplendent Angel in combination with Lyra Dawnbringer. I don't think we got to pull off Resplendent Angel and then cast our Renewed Faith just to gain 6 life, but it definitely happened in previous games with the deck where you just play Resplendent Angel on turn 3, turn 4, cast Renewed Faith, essentially 3 mana, gain 6, make a 4/4 Vigilant token with flying, which is pretty decent. So the deck definitely has some play to it, and I like how it's performing so far. The only weakness I would say is blue-based control decks, but those could be improved after sideboard with more Blossoming Defenses, more sticky creatures, more planeswalkers. Alright, sweet. So that does it for our Angel deck. I also want to thank all my patrons for supporting the channel, and you can do so yourself as well over at patreon.com/LegenVD, where you get cool rewards for supporting the channel, as well as getting us closer to our goals, where with every goal reached, we will release an additional weekly series. So if you want to see more content, Patreon is the place to go.